All right, how's it going? We are in Pallet Pro, Pallet Tool. So I just want to show you guys how to start the simulation. Um, so I've already went ahead and hit the play button. So technically the simulation is already started, and that's all I've done so far is hit the play button. Okay, now I already have my infeed set up, my pallet set up, and all that good stuff. But the next thing, if your robot's just sitting here, if you notice your box is indexed in, but then the robot isn't moving or doing anything, it's because your IO has to be on. Um, so we're gonna go IO type digital input, and then so you just have to know which inputs that you need that are required. But being that you're in Pallet Pro, they should all be fairly similar. So you want your vacuum switch to be on. If not, then you won't register that you're picking a pallet or a slip sheet whenever you go to pick one of those. So I just go ahead and turn that on. It doesn't cause any problems up front. Um, and then, okay, I know that I need these ones here. So I've turned simulate on. I'll go ahead and simulate all the ones that I need real quick. This one. And again, yours should be pretty similar. You should have probably the same naming. But after you make all these into an okay, good condition, your robots should start moving. So there you go. Now we have motion to the robot. It's going over here to pick a pallet. And you'll see whenever it goes down, this is what I'm talking about, the vacuum thing. It'll go to where it thinks the first pallet's at, and then it'll actually pick one. Why is this so far off my TCP? What's going on, dude? Maybe I didn't adjust the TCP on this. Yeah, the TCP is not adjusted. You see how it went underneath the thing before before it let go, and then it popped up to this upper location. It's probably going to do the same thing with the boxes now too. So I might have to stop this and adjust the TCP real quick. So now we're going to go over here and pick a slip sheet. Now, this setup will only happen, everybody's going to have a pallet first, and then it just depends on whether you have a slip sheet first or not. You can see this robot's coming out this way. In the real world, this robot doesn't have these stands right here, so it's actually not crashing into those stands. It slides out and then up. One other thing too about Pallet Pro, if you didn't know this already, Pallet Pro basically sets what boxes it's going to count in the Pallet Pro software. And when I say the boxes it's going to count, I mean pick. So it won't just pick one box. It won't just pick three boxes. It won't just pick two boxes. First of all, you have a max number of boxes that the tool can pick. And then from there, it'll pick. Yep, see my TCP is off. I might stop it and adjust that here in a second, but I just want to show you it placing a box before I transition to that. I actually placed it way down there underneath the pallet. Get it in. No, it's still bringing it up. What are you doing, dude? But the basically the Pallet Pro will choose how many boxes need to be picked based on your unit load and how you set up your unit load. So I believe this one's a 3-box pick the first go around. Yeah, I got my TCP off there, dude. I'll stop it here after I place these boxes, but I just want to show. I'm gonna let it place 2 of them because I think it does a 3 and then a 2, if I'm not mistaken. Now I can't open my unit loads while we're in simulation, which kind of sucks, but I can actually pull it up in my other document that I have here, so I'll just do that real quick. So I have another document here with my unit loads in it, and I do this so when I'm in simulation and stuff or on site, these can be printed out and have a paper copy of it. But we're running this unit load 1 right here. This actually doesn't have what I need in it. So I have another document that calls out, and it's this is all found on RoboGuide, but you just can't access it while you're simulating. So, so you just got 2 boxes real quick. I'm gonna show you guys it placing. It has those 2 boxes right there. Let's see if I can get half screen here. Dude. Trying to let y'all still be able to see the robot while I'm doing this. Come on, dude. Okay, so this is your pick one, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, or also known as cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3. So the first one we did was box 1, 2, 3. The next one we did was box 10, 11. The next one we did was box 12, 13. Okay, so how does that correlate? That correlates to this right here. So box 1, 2, 3. That's your first one's there, 1, 2, 3. And then your box 10, 11 is going to be your box 10, 11 right here. And then the place number or pick number 3 is box 12, 13. The next one's box 4. So you can see a box 4 there. So it's a single box pick. Number 6, also a single box pick. Box 15 and 14. It's a double pick. So 14 and 15 right here. Then we're going to do another single box pick for 5. And then we're going to do another triple box pick for 7, 8, 9, or 9, 8, 7. So you can see it here, 9, 8, 7. And the reason why these are going to be positioned differently is because I believe if you swap this around, the tool will rotate 180. So if you had 7, 8, 9, it would rotate 180, which you don't really want to do. Or it might want you to do a then place, which means it'll pick all 3 together, then place 7, then place 8, then place 9. So let's go ahead and jump into Pallet Pro real quick. I'm going to stop the simulation. And then I'm going to go to our TCP. Might be easier if I just do it here. Click into this. Yeah. Okay, okay. What else should we have to do this? Yeah. Grab this. Let me grab the robot, dude. Oh no, that's not what I want to do. Control Z. How do you turn on those grab tools? There we go. I believe this is what I want. Come on, bro. What's happening? Oh, gosh. Oh, my God. That's not what I want to do, dude. Oh, that's joints. I don't want to do joints. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But the thing that's nice about that is then you can come in here and just grab it. See how you can just move your robot how you need to move it. Oh, God. So now you can see my TCPs down here. There you go. GP17. Yeah. So you can see we have this off right here. The Z needs to be like 500 or something. Oh my God, that's not what I want, dude. Why is that not the TCP, bro? Alright, guys. I'll have to make another video on this. This is not the TCP. I don't know. I don't recall where to find the TCP. I thought it was in tools. I thought it was this here. That's the tool placement. Oh, you know what? That's tooling. This should be. Sorry, guys. This should be TCP right there. What is going on, dude? Yeah, I'll make another video, but I could have swore we modify it right here. That's the location, though. It's not our TCP. That's actual tool location. User frames. Where the fuck are tool frames at? Yeah, I'll just have to make this another video, so subscribe and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it should be here under tooling, or there's a tool, or like how this has user frames. There should be a tool frame one. Kind of confused right now, to be honest. Or when I click this, utool 0. Work envelope, current utool. Alright, guys. Well, hopefully that was helpful, the first part that I showed you. I'll have to look up this TCP dealio and see why it's not modifiable right there. If I'm grabbing this, it's grabbing the whole robot. Alright, it's got me stumped. Again, hopefully I got you going with the simulation and you were able to start jogging your robot. That was the primary premise of this video. I just like to try to add a couple of other valuable tips if I can while we're here, just because it might be one other thing that you get hung up on, or it might be the next thing that you get hung up on, or it might have been the thing that you already spent 2 hours trying to figure out and you could have just watched this video to figure it out. So yeah, hopefully this was valuable for you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.